The water type is the most common in all of Pokemon, and water Pokemon are as diverse as the sea itself. So what happens when you take that diversity and multiply it by about 100,000? This is Pokemon Infinite Fusion, a fan game based on the original Kanto story with over 175,000 different Pokemon combinations. And we're going to see if we can beat Hardcode Nuzlocke using only water types. So please like and subscribe as we dive in for 7 out of 10, Too Much Water. To clarify some of the rules, as we go ahead and pick Squirtle as our starter, because it's a water run, I'm only capping our encounters to 1 water Pokemon per area. Other encounters, I'm just going to kind of get what I can get. I want to make sure that I have compatible fusions for each of our aquatic pals. The other hardcore rules are going to be played as normal. So Faint equals box, level caps the next gym leader, no healing items in battle, and the battle mode will be set to set. Also to clarify, I do have access to the debug mode of this game, which I'm going to use to give myself the HM items as well as repel, so I don't end up over leveling. But anyway, Blue fuses Bulbasaur and Charmander together, and after a few tackles, we take it down. Our next encounter is a Mewtwo, which we named Prickles, and they encounter a Bidoof on Route 22 with the Poké Radar that we named Daggett. Oh yeah, I also gave myself the Poké Radar. We've used Koopa and Nidoran male, giving us a Squirtran, Bidoof and Fleshling making a Fleshdoof, and Prickles and Bellsprout giving us a Pukesprout. We make our way over to Battle Blue on Route 22 so we can access the Secret Garden. He sends out a Nidoigi, and we send out Koopa. We take it out in 2 water guns, and he sends out his starter, which, after a few pecks, we take that down as well. Smell you later, you jerk. In the Secret Garden, we pick up an Eevee, and we name it Bean. And on the other side of Route 2, we grab a Poliwag and name him Glenn. We fuse a Tyrogue with Glenn, get to the level cap, and now it's time for us to challenge Brock for our first badge. And we get to see what the Brock is cooking. Geogy gets taken out in 1 water gun from Koopa, Digsnit comes out next, and a Rock Tomb takes us down to about 30%, but another water gun is enough to slay the snake monster, and the Boulder badge is ours. On our way to Mount Moon, Koopa evolves into Squirterino, and I get into Daggett also evolves twice, changing from normal flying to fire water, and kind of a wicked sprite. For our final encounter before Mount Moon, we grab the Magikarp and we name her Scale Shot. Nurse Joy is outside Mount Moon attending to an injured Geodude. Brock comes over to help out because the only thing he loves more than rocks is women. He asks us to check things out, so we head inside. Inside Mount Moon, we find some dudes dressed in black. Turns out it's Team Rocket, and they're here planning something bad. Turns out that bad thing is stealing all the Moonstones in an attempt to do a triple fusion. When we interrupt their experiment, they force the Fossil Maniac to battle us, giving them more time to prepare. He sends out Koffmer, and we manage to take it down with Koopa. The fusion machine explodes, and I imagine the resulting fusion is some kind of sentient goo. Team Rocket packs up their stuff and runs back to their secret base to continue their experiments. Miguel apologizes to us and lets us take one of the fossils. In Cerulean City, there's a quest we can complete to receive a Wooper as a gift. We also picked up a water stone behind a cut bush, and we evolve our Bean into a Vaporeon. Before we're taking on Blue at Nugget Bridge, we fuse our Bellsprout and a Magikarp, and then Vaporeon with a Charmander we can trade for in the Pokemon Center, and then we evolve them both into Weeping Dose and Vapormillion. Lastly, we fuse a Sandshrew with our Wooper, and then evolve them into the adorable Quagsslash. Now that we're ready to head to Nugget Bridge, Blue confronts us and challenges to our next rival battle. Hyperfang manages to get the flinch, and a rollout takes his Evo Poison Bird thing down. Mantata comes out next, and 2 rollouts hit, taking it out, while a Seismic Toss brings us to about half. Somehow the next 2 rollouts hit, taking out both a starter as well as an Abra. We fight our way over to Bill's house, where he's doing an experiment to fuse himself with a Pokemon. He claims the experiment screwed up because his hands are too big, and asks if we can help him reverse it. We help him out, and he invites us on a romantic cruise. And who am I to turn down free tickets? Before taking on Misty, we evolve our Glenn into a Poly, which looks like an egg with very long legs. Misty is the next obstacle along our journey, and I'm pretty sure she's hitting on us, but she isn't the all-water type trainer in these parts. She sends out Jigglyteen, and we send out Quagsslash, who I forgot to nickname. Crestclaw does about 30%, getting the defense drop. Another Claw is enough to take the Goldfish out. A Mega Drain almost takes us out, as a Fury Cutter does about half. We switch into Bean, who tanks the next Mega Drain, while an Ember puts them into potion range. A Stun Spore paralyzes us, and we exchange Mega Drains and Embers until finally her second Pokemon goes down, earning us the Cascade badge. While en route to Vermilion, our Koopa evolves into a War King, which honestly is basically the best name for a Koopa. On the SSN, we run into Blue, who tells us how cool he is, and he throws out My Chemical Bird to battle against us. And Aurora Beam takes it down into potion range, and Whirlwind drags out Quagsslash. Against all logic, he doesn't heal, and we press play on the Ludo hit from 2001, taking out each of his Pokemon until we're left with Starbra, who we take out in a single Fury Cutter. I'm not sure why this guy thinks he's so much better than we are. We rub an old man's back until our leg egg hatches into a Blue McNugget, and now Lieutenant Surge will feel the fury of the waves. Quagsslash takes out his entire team with 1 magnitude each, and we collect the Thunder Badge as our reward. After getting through Rock Tunnel, we stop by Pokemon Tower to check up on Blue, who's there not mourning the death of his Manecate. He sends out a Kyoto, and I've played this game a few times, and he has never had this Pokemon before, but after wasting both of his potions, we're able to take out the Bone Bird with a few Water Pulses and a bite. Charsaur is up next, and we take it down to about 40%. Blue makes it smell nice. As we miss our second Drill Run, we get crit Razor Leaf for our trouble. For our first loss of the run. Koopa, my dearest and oldest friend, thank you for your service. I hope that you find peace. We send out Scale Shot, and Ice Fang takes him down to 1 as we get flinched by a Fire Fang and then hit with a Razor Leaf, but we finish him off with a Vine Whip. His unfused Gyarados comes out next with a Bite, and Thrash takes us down into the red. Cadet has the highest defense on our team, so we switch into him after taking the second hit from Thrash pretty easy, and then the third, Rock Tomb lowers its speed, taking him into the red where we can finish things off with a Crush Claw. Starbird comes out, disabling Crush Claw, but we smack him hard with a Fury Cutter, taking him out on the second one, ending the battle. There's an argument happening towards the stairs leading up Pokemon Tower. Team Rocket's harassing Mr. Fuji. They bring him up the tower, presumably to torture him, but because we're afraid of ghosts, we can't help him, so we head to Celadon City. Before heading to Celadon, we fished on Route 12 for a Krabby, and Route 10 for a Horsey. Then we fused that Krabby with a Cubone we also found on Route 10 and evolve it into a Marowler. We also evolve Glenn and fuse him with a Luxray for the powerful Poliwray. Erica is outside of her gym, taking the sweet scent of the sewers nearby, and we let her know that Mr. Fuji's been taken hostage. Somehow she knows Mr. Fuji. She exclaims that she knows where Team Rocket's hideout is, and we infiltrate the sewers and then their secret base, eventually finding Giovanni after we clear the place out. He's already beaten her in a battle, so it's up to us to take him down. He sends out Arnix, and we send out Cadet, and a magnitude is enough to take it out in one hit. Haunt Cons is the next Pokemon, and honestly, I hate this thing. Shadow Ball takes us out from nearly full before we have the chance to even make a move. My poor little Quagsslash. I hope you have all the room you need to roll out in Poke Heaven. We send Pinchy out, and another Shadow Ball does about 70%. Predicting another Shadow Ball, we send out Poliwray because it's our highest special defense Pokemon. Next, Payback does minimal damage to us as a Bite takes her well into the red. Giovanni heals back up as a Bite takes her down in half, and then a Dizzy Punch KOs us for a second loss this battle. Bean gets slammed hard, but Flamethrower is enough to take this monster down. Ryros is his last Pokemon, and we switch into Scale Shot. A Rock Blast is a little bit less than half, and we respond with a Vine Whip. We do the same thing again before an Ice Beam lands us in the red, but a third takes it out, and we win our battle against Giovanni. He gives us a speech before running away. Erica thanks us for the help and lets us know the Silph Scope will help us not be so afraid of ghosts. Before heading to the gym, we evolved Slowpoke that honestly I forgot where we caught it into a Slowking, and fusing with a Gardevoir for some fan service in Slowvoir. This gym is great, it's full of sexy women. For our fourth badge, Erica plans to face us with a full might of her sexy women Pokemon. And none of her sensual flowers can stand against the awesome power of our Bean. We secure the Rainbow Badge, and after the battle, Bean evolves into Vaporizard. Before heading back to Pokemon Tower, we head to the Viridian River, which is a route you gain access to once you have 4 badges. We catch both a Marill and a Mudkip, then we evolve both of them, and fuse Azumarill with a Slaking for the frightening Asthma King, and then swap her with a Dowblade for an awesome Swam Slash. Finally, we fuse Scale Shot with a new partner, a Sceptile. We make our way up Pokemon Tower, knock the possession out of a few old ladies, take out the Genwalk, and secure Mr. Fuji, who lets us know that Team Rocket stole his Master Ball plans. He gives us the Pokeflute, and we clear off the Snorlax on Route 12. In the Safari Zone, we catch a Psyduck, name him Quackers, and get ready to face Koga. His first 3 Pokemon all go down to the awesome power of Bean's Flamethrower. When Chanet comes out, I assume the Toxic, so I set up an Aqua Ring to try to buy us a few turns. He sets up Acid Armor and Double Team. Surf does very little as a Flamethrower misses. She poisons us with Toxic. On the next turn, a Flamethrower and then the takedown recoil damage get her to about half as we fall below half, so we need to switch out. We send out Budweiser because its only directly attacking move is Double Edge, and we're part Ghost type. It goes for Toxic because it has to, as we set up a Sword Stance. After it continues to just improve its defense, we eventually whittle it down with Nice Lashes, securing our 5th badge. Once we make our way to Saffron to rescue everyone from Team Rocket in the Silphco building, we receive a Lapras from one of the scientists. We name him Littlefoot, and we head up to the top floor. Blue confronts us before we can get to the president, admits that it's a very bad time to fight, but too bad he sends out his fully evolved bird person. Headbutt him with Pinchy, but because I can't remember if it's ground or poison for minimal damage, while Thrash just hits us for huge damage, we switch into Budweiser since he's Ghost, missing the second Thrash and causing confusion. Nidogia uses Roost, and Bud Sword Stances. Then we go for a Rock Slide and a Shadow Sneak to bring the big bird down. Electados comes out next, and we need to switch out badly. Pinchy comes in predicting an electric move. He goes for 2 Hydro Pumps, missing both, and gets taken out with a Boomerang. Charizard is up next, and we send out Scale Shot, and a Flamethrower does huge damage, making us switch into Bean. Bean tanks a Dragon Rage, while an Ice Beam does about 30%. Solar Beam hits us for huge damage, while Flamethrower takes Charizard into the red. A second Flamethrower finishes off, and the unfused Tauros comes out next. We send out Peekaboo to take a couple hits, while our Play Rough stuffs just over half, and an Aqua Tail secures the kill. Starver comes out last and hits us for pretty good damage with Psychic, but a Fate Attack one-shot, winning us the battle. Blue heals us up and decides to help us take down Giovanni, who's interrogating the Silph president regarding Master Ball production. He's only been able to make 3 so far, and he was expecting more. The Rockets let him know that we're here, and a double battle begins with Blue as our ally. Ryros and Primarino come out for Giovanni, Peekaboo and Nidojock come out on our side. A Thrash Aqua Tail combo are enough to take out Ryros, but up next is Genkan. A Dart Pulse and a Poison Jab get Peekaboo to about 30%, while our feint attack almost KOs Genkan. Meanwhile, Emo Bird punches himself in the face. We switch into Spacey, tank a close combat, and Giovanni heals back up. A Dart Pulse does barely anything. Then I forget Poison Jab, despite my last Pokemon getting poisoned, and Spacey faints before I can even do anything. We send out Bean, the flamethrower. It doesn't even do half. A wing attack almost takes out Primarino, and a close combat almost KOs Bean immediately. We need to switch out again. Pinchy comes out while Blue takes care of Primarino, and out next is Sand Queen. An Outrage and an Earth Power crack our crab on the first turn. I'll always miss your very one big glowy hand, my friend. I send out Scale Shot next, and Crunch leaves this dude at like half HP. Why are you still using Outrage? After a few Leaf Blades and we finish off the battle. I really hate that his Pokemon are way above the level cap. Giovanni and Team Rocket take off, stating that 3 Master Balls should be enough to complete their plan. Blue lets us know about the gym in the city before he heads out. We grab a Totodile from the Sylph President, and we head out to fight Sabrina. Clearing out Team Rocket allows us to take the train over to Goldenrod, where they sell all the non-elemental evolution stones. We grab a Dust Stone and evolve Budweiser into the wicked Aegislash fusion. This is like a frog ghost assassin, and honestly, he's like my favorite of the run. To fill out our team, I fuse Kabutops with a Scyther from the game corner and evolve it into a Scissor. Finally, we fuse our Totodile with a Dratini and evolve it to prepare for our endgame team. Sabrina says something about spoons, and then we fight. It's time for us to get our 6th badge. Hitmime, who's just like a really cool dude. BT Dubs sets up a nasty plot while Bud sets up a sword stance. Sabrina baton passes into Esperon. A Nice Lash takes it into the red before forcing Sabrina to use a potion. I go for a Shadow Sneak for some reason instead of a Nice Lash and almost get taken out with Dark Pulse. Scared, I send in Scale Shot, setting up a Dragon Dance and scoring the KO with Leaf Blade. Peekaboo takes a Psycho Cut and KOing her next 2 Pokemon with 1 feint attack apiece. Hitmime comes out, taking a hit like a champ and putting Peekaboo to sleep, and he starts wailing on us. I switch into Meek and finish things off with a Bullet Punch. The Marsh badge is ours. Skipping ahead to Blame because we know how Pokemon Mansion works, he literally threatens to burn us. He sends out a horse with a very runny nose and a funny hat, and we send out the King of Beers. Glue Dash is faster than us, setting up a Solar Beam, so we have to switch and tank it with Bean. We get him into healing range with a Surf before taking it out with a second. Bean then proceeds to OHKO all 3 of his remaining Pokemon for our very uneventful 7th badge. Outside the gym, Team Rocket's harassing a sailor about getting passes to Mount Ember. He won't take them without a ticket, so they just steal the boat. While surfing on the open sea, we catch a Whalmer, fight Team Rocket, and make our way to Giovanni, who's revealed he's caught all 3 legendary birds, and he's fused them together into the great Zapmolkuno, and no one will be able to stop him now. After monologuing about how cool his bird is, it's time for us to take him down for the last time as the leader of Team Rocket. In a 3v1 battle, which isn't fair because Dodrio doesn't get 3 turns. An Aqua Tail from Peekaboo takes out Moltres immediately, and I'm feeling pretty good about this fight, but then a Thunderbolt and an Ice Beam take the big man down. Rest easy, my friend, even though you looked like you were wearing a creepy bunny mask. An Ice Fang from Scale Shot does good damage on Zapdos, but the 2 birds take him down to just 26 HP. Risking the switch, we send in Bud, and the same combo does the exact same thing to him and then to K. Rool. Knowing I need to stack somebody, I send in Meek. No offense, buddy. And he goes down to a Thunderbolt. I literally hardly knew thee. Beam's my only healthy Pokemon, and an Ice Beam leaves Zapdos with like 1 HP. Thunderbolt takes us down to 50, and I'm able to knock out the Zapdos. But now I only have 31 HP. Unable to switch, I risk it for 2 more Flamethrowers to take the big bird down. I was so scared. I have a lot of affection for Vaporizar because number 1, it looks like a Monster Rancher monster, and also because I've been Team Charmander since 1998, and also because my daughter's name is Eevee. 3 birds defuse, Giovanni realizing he's beaten, and then decides to just disband Team Rocket, at least for now. He tells them not to follow him as they all go their separate ways. Now we need to prepare for our 8th badge. Psyduck from the Safari Zone gets fused with the Magnemite. After reaching their final form, he becomes the wicked Magneduck. Next, we fuse our Lapras with Lavatar we got from the Safari Zone, evolving it into the monstrous Lapitar. Now we're ready for Giovanni, for the final time for our final badge. He chooses his fully evolved Rhyperios, and Bean is our first Pokemon. A Surf isn't quite enough to take it out, and a Bulldoze does massive damage. We are able to get him to use both his full restores in the process, though, as he switches into Electro-Trio, who does get one-shot by our Waves of Justice. Glystar, who outspeeds us and KOs my sweet Bean with a crit Poison Jab. I forgot about the speed reduction from Bulldoze. This is a tough one. You were my MVP, Bean. He'll always be my baby. I send out Bud knowing he can resist poison damage, but I still get poisoned as I set up a Sword Stance. Megahorn does alright damage as an Earthquake doesn't even do half. I need to switch out, so I send in K. Rool. Earthquake puts us into a very unfortunate position, so we again need to switch, risking the Poison Jab, but we're able to take him out with an Aqua Tail. Scale Shot then one-shots all 3 of his remaining Pokemon, and we now qualify to enter the Pokemon League. Before we're heading to the Pokemon League, we evolve K. Rool to his final form, and then evolve and add the Lord of Bliss to our team as well. Blue is waiting for us on Route 22, and this is just a warm-up. Littlefoot takes out Nidoja in just 2 Ice Shards. Quackers comes in next, taking out Tokyo in just 2 Mirror Shots. K. Rool goes up against Maghorn with 1 Aqua Tail, and 2 Dragon Claws take out his starter, 2 Crunches for Electabuzz, and 1 for Starkazam. We make our way to the Pokemon League gates. Let's take a look at our team before we challenge the Elite Four. We have Littlefoot the Larvitar holding the leftovers with Ice Shard, Earthquake, Crunch, and Rock Slide. Budweiser the Swam Slash holding a Quick Claw with Earthquake, Swords Dance, Night Slash, and Shadow Sneak. K-Rool the Fahrenheit holding a Water Gem with Aqua Tail, Crunch, Dragon Claw, and Thunder Punch. Quackers the Magnetic holding a Steel Gem with Tri-Attack, Mirror Shot, Surf, and Thunderbolt. Scale Shot the Garotile holding a Miracle Seed with Leaf Blade, Ice Fang, Dragon Dance, and Aqua Tail. And finally, Blisslord, who I forgot to nickname, holding leftovers with Water Spout, Soft Boiled, Minimize, and Toxic. Our first challenge is Lorelei and her Ice types. Her first Pokemon is Magong, and we send out Bud. A Flamethrower basically does nothing as we set up 2 Swords Dances. Her first 2 Pokemon go down to 1 Earthquake each, and Jin Growth puts us to sleep. After some back and forth, 2 Shadow Sneaks are enough to take her down. Tentacaster comes up fourth with an Earthquake Shadow Sneak combo, take it down, as she sets up a layer of spikes. Her final Pokemon, Mabro, hits us hard, but an Earthquake and Shadow Sneak combo are enough to take her down, earning us our first win. Now we face Bruno, no, Lannis fighting team. Mavire comes out against Scale Shot, and we try to set up with a Dragon Dance, but a critical hit cross chop takes us down to size immediately. He really didn't like me singing that song, I guess. I'm sorry, my friend. As revenge, we send out K-Rool, who's able to tank a cross chop and delivers 2 big hits with Dragon Claw, forcing both of Bruno's potions. After that, we take another cross chop, bringing us down to about 40%, and we take Big Hands and Bigger Lips down. Water Gem boosted Aqua Tail is enough to decimate Marochan, and another 2 take out Steel Champ, and all he can do is set up a Sandstorm. Cycross sets up Swords Dance. As I forget that Steel resists Dragon, we switch into Quackers, and a close combat hits us down to our Sturdy. Thank God we're Steel type for the Sandstorm chip. Blisslord comes out next, and not even 396 HP can stop a +2. I really don't know why I did that. 1 Earthquake from Bud is enough to take down this Metallic Menace. I probably should have just done that from the start. Magnet survives on Sturdy with thank goodness for Quick Claw activation, as a Shadow Sneak takes it out to secure our second win. Agatha and her Ghost are our third matchup. Miasma Bat can't even stand against the power of Littlefoot's Crunch and gets taken out immediately. The same thing happens to her second Pokemon. Snorgar manages to hold on, gets healed back up as we go for Ice Shard to do some shift damage to avoid the second potion, but it decides to use Rest, and Crunch takes it out anyways. After that, Gendoom goes down in 1, and then another Ice Shard Crunch combo take out Umber, and only Lance remains. Lance, the man who 3 years from now will murder another man with a Hyper Beam, needs to be stopped. He sends out Dragados, and we send out K-Rool. We barely survive an Outrage, but manage to take it out in 1 Dragon Claw. Togonite is his next Pokemon, and we need to switch. Quackers tanks an Air Slash and Ancient Power, and returns fire with Mirror Shots for huge damage. Lance uses both of his full restores, and a Moonblast does pretty good damage, but a few more Mirror Shots get the job done. Tyrannodactyl hits us with a Dragon Rush, as Surf barely does half. He sets up Agility as another Surf brings him down into the red. But then he unexpectedly sends out Porydraw, who tanks a Surf like a champ. A Thunderbolt does even less damage, and we need to switch into Littlefoot. Tri-Attack and 2 Dragon Bolts just do huge damage, but we manage to solve the issue in 2 crunches. Pterodactyl comes back out, and there's nothing an Ice Shard can't handle, and his final Pokemon, Tyranitar, comes out. He hits us with 2 Fire Blasts, but a Quick Claw Earthquake finishes off Lance and his reign of Hyper Beaming terror. Now it's time for us to congratulate Blue on becoming the champion the only way we know how, by showing him the overwhelming power of the sea itself. Ninojop faces up against K-Rool, who now is Dragon Dance. He does minimal damage with Earthquake as we set up 2 Dragon Dances while he raises his evasion and attack. And Aqua Tail takes the big bird down, and Charizard comes out and gets slapped into the red while setting up a Solar Beam. Unable to heal, a Dragon Clutch KOs his starter, and Rhyperior Mortar gets knocked out as well with a Wet Tail Slap. Turtor tanks Dragon Claw and does decent damage with Zen Headbutt. Blue then uses all 3 of his full restores as we exchange blows until ultimately he goes down to our claws. 2 more Dragon Claws take down Electados, while Thunder Punches bring us down into the red. And with our own Thunder Punch, Star Kazam doesn't even stand a chance of winning in this battle, costing Blue his pride. And that is how I beat a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Infinite Fusions using only Water-type fusions. If you made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing. If you'd like to leave a comment with your favorite fusions and challenge ideas, please. This is only my second video like this, so I'm still getting used to the swing of things. There's a lot I know that I can do in this game and beyond, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. But anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.